Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to my FPS guide to League of Legends. So right now I will get into all the in-game settings that you can do to improve your FPS in-game. So if you go into more options, you can uncheck things like camera smoothing, which can actually affect your FPS a lot. And also you can disable all sound to actually improve performance. I'm not sure if this actually improves a lot. I only think it only probably improves a little bit. I'm not sure. Just try it out. I play with sound on, so this doesn't really apply to me. But if you are one of those guys who blast like a loud music and you don't give a shit about who pings what, go ahead. That will actually improve your performance by a little. So if you go into video settings, this is where all the magic happens. So here you will see a lot of things that are different from your settings. That is because I've pretty much set it up so that I have the most FPS out of this game possible. So in the resolution you will see that I have the lowest resolution possible, which gives me the most FPS possible in return. And also windowed mode, I have it on borderless. Now you guys are probably like, why is it borderless, man? Like full screen gives you the most FPS. Are you crazy? Well, obviously I know that full screen actually gives you the most FPS, but I actually stream. So if you guys are wondering why the HUD flickers so many fucking times when you see a streamer stream League of Legends, you will realize that they actually have full screen on. So what full screen does, actually, it makes the HUD interface just flicker like crazy, and your viewers do not want to see that. Anyways, going to character quality, very low. Honestly, I don't think this game needs any high quality, since it looks like some animation and it just looks bad anyways. So I mean, I feel like there's no difference. I feel like this is not Skyrim or like Mass Effect 3 when you want to like look at some creature and be like, wow, look at that thing, that's so high quality, look at him, look at his tongue, you know, things like that. Like, you don't need it in this game. So I have it all off right now. Frame rate cap, I have it on benchmark because that gives me the most FPS. None of the others give me the most give me as much FPS as benchmark. I tried high frame rate. It only gave me 100 FPS. I tried stable, it only gave me 90, which is not good. And I tried benchmark, and it gives me 300 FPS in total. And I will tell you why I need 300 FPS. I will tell you later. Alright, so going to vertical sync. Now this is a lot of people have issues with this. A lot of people have arguments with this, and I feel like it's very, very dumb to have arguments whether to put it on or off. I say turn it off unless you know that you can lock at a frame rate that is higher than 100 FPS. Now a lot of people will say 60 FPS, 60 Hertz. You can't go above 60 Hertz. Your eyes won't. You can't tell the difference. Like above 60 Hertz, like people tell that myth to everyone that I don't understand where they get this information from, science or whatever. And your science shit doesn't apply in League of Legends or Counter-Strike or any other game that have never ever even thought about turning on vertical sync. If you've played Counter-Strike 1.6, Counter-Strike Source or anything like that, you turn that vertical sync on in that game, and people will be like, what the fuck are you doing, my dear? Because this is pretty much telling your computer to stay at an FPS and don't go above that. You can only go below that. Checking that doesn't mean you're gonna stay at 60 FPS. Now a lot of laptops I know actually only can go up to 60 Hertz, and sure, you can put it at vertical sync if your computer is really, really good and it can stay at 60 FPS throughout the whole time. But when you can get more than 60 FPS Why are you turning on vertical sync? I don't understand that logic behind people where people just believe in science and say 60 frames per second. You don't need anything higher than that in this game. This game doesn't require like 100 FPS. Who cares, man? Well, is that why Counter-Strike required actually 100 FPS? Why do people use FPS underscore max 100? Why do people use that? Like, why does everyone use that? Why do pros never turn on vertical sync? Why do people just forget the fact that they can actually gain more FPS by unchecking this thing? So by unchecking this is pretty much telling your computer that you can go above, you can go however you like. It's pretty much freeing a person literally to do whatever you want. So if you uncheck this, if I check this right now, my computer will lock in 75 frames per second, which is definitely not enough because that can go down and it can then never go up. So turning that off is very, very, very good for most, like 90% of the cases, unless you have a monitor that can stream at like 120 frames per second constantly without going down to like 90. Then sure, you can go wait for vertical sync, but it's just so good to just maximize your FPS, and this is the guide to maximize your FPS. So yeah, there we go. These are the settings that you want if you want to maximize your FPS right now, and I am getting 300 FPS, and I will tell you why I need 300 FPS in this game in the next section. Alright, hey guys, this is Hansen from Hansen Productions, and I'm here to tell you how to improve your FPS in League of Legends out of game, and also programs that can help you stream and also improve your performance in other games as well. So if you're going to start computer and choose the hard disk that you downloaded League of Legends on, and you go into Riot Games folder, you will see it. If you clicked on the right hard disk, you will see Riot Games, League of Legends, config, and game. And here you will see a bunch of stuff that you probably don't understand. If you can't open this program, you need to open it with Notepad in order to see this. So ignore all this writing and just find the word performance. That's all you need to do right now. So there we go, you will see performance right there. So everything under here until floating text will influence your game FPS. So right here I will have most of the things at 0. The only reason why I have frame cap type equal to 2 is because that's benchmark, and I guess 2 is benchmark. And shadows enabled is 1. That's for off. So if you want, those are two of the things that I actually got confused at first, because I was like, why shadows enabled 1? I didn't want to enable it, but shadows enabled 1 equals 1 means the shadows are off. So right now we'll go through the other ones. Enable HUD animation 0, auto performance settings 0, character quality 0, environment quality 3, full 3D 0, gamma enabled, you don't need gamma in this game. Effect quality, shallow quality, we already did that. Advanced shader, enable particle optimizations, advanced reflection, and per pixel point lighting. Now those things will probably be different. It will probably be at like 1. So if you can place these at 0. What these things do is the only difference I saw is the game is a little bit is less bright. So at the start of the game you'll probably see like light like shining down on your characters from the sky or whatever. That's pretty much the reason why the game's eating up some FPS, and by turning these things off will actually make your game a little bit darker, so it's not gonna like shine in your eyes and blind you, which it did before for me because it was so bright, the light. So I turned these things off and it gave me about 15 FPS more just from this. So these are the things that you can do to improve your in-game FPS by doing it out of game. So there we go, that's the config that you can switch. And now I will go on to Razer Game Booster, which is very good program for maximizing your performance in games. So here you will see the first thing is still in beta, so everything's not 100% perfect, but it's very good. Launcher, and you will see configure here. What this allows you to do is the ones you check, all these processes or these services will be ended when you start the game. If you don't know what these services or process do, then don't touch them. Always Google them before you disable any of these .exes. You will also see tools. You can tweak your computer. You can defrag your game so that it runs smoother, and also you can update your drivers through here. So it's a very good program. I suggest you guys get this. This is completely free. I will have the links below everywhere, and yeah, this will definitely help you. And a lot of Windows 7 users will probably find this very useful. If you go into power options through control panel and hardware and sound, hardware and sound, then you go into power options, you will see power for gear, high performance. This is what you want when you want high performance. I will go into NVIDIA settings now. I have everything off pretty much. I have everything on maximum performance. There's not a single thing that gives me that tells my graphics card to do any bit of quality work. So everything is very low, and my game doesn't really look like shit after all. So it doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. And this is what's kind of important here: maximum pre-rendered frames. Everything else is pretty simple. It will tell you which one gives you the higher performance, obviously, and a vertical sync off all the time. But this one is a little bit more complicated. This one is like maximum pre-rendered frames. It's like rendering frames before they happen, pretty much. So let's say I'm moving a character. So before that, they actually pre-render the frames, pre-render 4 frames, so things will look smoother. Why do I have this at 4? Is because when I stream, things are a little bit not smooth, and I don't need more FPS than 300 FPS without streaming, of course. I will get into the streaming program later and why I want a lot of FPS, like 300 FPS. So 4 is very good for me. If it says, you know, if you feel a delay in your mouse and stuff like that, then of course lower the value. Now I'm using Xsplit only because this is the program that I only have to record desktop. So I'm using this terrible program called Xsplit. Don't ever use this program if you want to stream. What you want to use if you want to stream is you want to use something called Open Broadcast Software. Short for OBS. Long for OBS, and it's very good. Open Broadcaster Software. This is the best of broadcasting system right now. It's really good because it actually gave me more FPS while streaming. I tried streaming with Xsplit, I tried streaming with FFsplit as well, and this is by far the best. I tried the same settings on Xsplit and I tried the same settings on Open Broadcaster Software, and what I found is with Xsplit, my 300 FPS goes down to 90 FPS in game, in a team fight, for example. When I'm farming, it's like 100 FPS barely. So it's actually really bad. I tried it with Open Broadcaster Software. I actually get 160 FPS normally. When I get into humongous team fights, maybe I'll go down to 130, but not more than that. So it actually gave me like 50 FPS more, which is a huge difference to low-end computers out there that want to stream. And of course, if you don't have the upload speed to do it, then there's no difference. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, you need the upload speed in order to stream. So yeah, that's pretty much it for those who want to stream at highest performance. And those of you who want the maximum performance, there you have it. This is pretty much the complete guide to maximizing your FPS in game by using things out of game. So I'll see you guys next time. Please check my other videos. I will do a lot of educational stuff on my channel, so please check it out. I will do more of these things if people like it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your high FPS gaming. See you guys.